Welcome to the EmpowerYou Financial podcast. I am your host, CEO, and founder of EmpowerYou Financial, Eva Palacios, where we teach you how to live life on your own terms through financial literacy and credit education. What's up, guys? We are back at it again. Today's topic, I want to talk about something that has been ruffling the feathers here in California, and I think it's time that we talk about it. And it's actually crazy that I'm not seeing a lot of talk or activity or just people talking about this topic. And what we're going to talk about is insurance for property and casualty. So for all of my insurance brokers, agents, leaders with offices, guys, I know you are probably going through it right now because what's been going on? Let me fill you in. For those of you who don't reside in California, or maybe you're in California and you just haven't been paying attention to the news, you rely on social media and, things and people to fill you in. Guys, right now what's happening in California with the insurance industry is insane. You have top insurance companies like AllState, State Farm, who are on purpose not accepting new customers. And not only are they not accepting new businesses, therefore new policies, it's also taking longer than normal to bind a policy. And what that means is, if you guys can remember back in the day, you can literally go on the internet, search insurance companies, and basically shop around to get your autos covered, your homes covered, your recreational vehicles, your personal property. You can literally go online, fill in the information, see how much it'll cost you, and shop around on your own. And then you pick the price, you hit submit, you pay, and boom, you got insurance within minutes. Not today, guys, not today. And that, to all of those in this space, is very scary, right? And this is where I try to teach you guys, I try to teach my community and my mentees, this is why we have to be in position. We have to be in position in case the market or the economy shifts, we are ready to move. So for those of you who, you got bills on autopay, you're not paying attention, you're super busy, you probably don't even know when your insurance policy is going to renew. If you're doing a 6 months or a 12 months, I encourage you today to look up all of your policy information and find out when those policies are due to renew. Because you do have companies that are no longer taking new clients, and you have companies that aren't even renewing your policy. So if you think you're good because you've been with the company for X amount of years, you guys better think again, because the last thing you need to worry about is getting your policy canceled, because once your policy is canceled, that goes into the insurance system and it throws up a red flag to other insurance companies. And when you are red flagged, they're then wondering, well, why did your policy get canceled? Was it canceled due to non-payment? Or was it canceled because that insurance company no longer is servicing their customers? Now, I'm talking about this because this actually happened to me a couple weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago. My auto and homeowners insurance, it was due for renewal. And thank goodness, guys. First of all, let me back it up. Tip number 1. If you got yourself an amazing insurance representative for property and casualty, that person should be reaching out to you when things like this happens. Now, in my case, I've got notifications. I've got it via email, via mail, via text message. In case I'm just too busy and I overlook something, I'm notified in 3 different ways. But most importantly, my policy was due up for renewal. And when I saw the price tag of how much my policy was going to increase, I almost had a heart attack. I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. Hold the phone. What in the world is going on? So let's break it down. Right now, my policy is currently with Travelers Insurance. Now, again, everybody's policy is different, right? How many how many drivers do you have? How many vehicles do you have? What type of vehicles? How much are they worth? The medical type coverage, the accident coverage, like all of that. Everybody's different, right? So for me, I had been with Travelers for a couple of years now, but shout out to my amazing insurance agent, Alan Nguyen, who used to be out here in Sacramento, but he moved to Texas and has been building an amazing business, an amazing family out there. Shout out to those that are moving to places where you can get more house for your money. Anyways, long story short, he has been my insurance guy for the last couple of years. And even though he's moved across state, he has always kept his level of service in excellent rating status. So shout out to Alan. So long story short, my policy is up for renewal, and I'm looking and on purpose, like guys, when I talk about like keeping track of your finances, like every single month, I don't care how much money you're making or not making. You should be keeping track of all of your monthly expenses, but on purpose. Things like my auto insurance policy, which is every 6 months. My homeowner's insurance policy, which is every 12 months. My registration for my vehicles every 12 months. And depending upon what month out the year, they could all be different. My property taxes twice a year. I keep tabs and record every single year. Are these policy premiums increasing? Are they staying the same? Or are they decreasing? So when it came time for my renewal, I'm like, okay, well, let me take a look and see what this bill looks like. And I automatically looked and I said, there is no way. There is no way. So let me share the details with you. So it is me and it is my 2 older boys, and there are 3 vehicles. And long story short, my 6-month policy for the previous 6 months for all of those vehicles and all of us drivers, and yeah, for those who got kids who are young adults and new drivers, like it's a pretty penny. But long story short, anyways, the 6-month policy premium was about $2,700. And I thought to myself, okay, yeah, like let's do the math and yeah. Okay. Some of you are probably like, what in the world? Some of you are probably like, oh my God, that's super cheap. Guys, pay attention. All I know is it's $2,700 every 6 months. So a little over $5,000 for the 12 months, little over $5,000. When I got the 12-month renewal, they wanted $10,000. I thought to myself, what is going on? Immediately, I text message Alan. I'm like, Alan, what's going on? And then he was like, yeah, tell me about it. All of us insurance agents are going through it because these companies are raising the prices on the premiums. A lot of companies are backing out of California. A lot of companies are canceling policies, forcing people to jump ship and go into other companies. And then you've got the new companies that are taking advantage of people because they think they can. Guys, this is where we got to get good with our finances. And we have to set the time to review all of the numbers. Because again, I don't care how much money you make. Just because they increase your payment or your premium doesn't mean you have to stick with them and pay that premium. So I'm like, okay, Alan, I don't know what you need to do, but can you do me a favor and shop around? Since it's my time to renew, we need to take a look at all options. And he's like, okay, Eva, I'm going to be straight up with you. It's not easy these days. Like there's going to be a waiting period. I will run the numbers. I will shop around. I'll run the numbers. I'll give you some quotes. Then when you decide which insurance company to pick, we'll go after that. But even though you submit your payment, it doesn't officially bind, meaning you are not covered. You have to pay them first, and many insurance companies want you to pay the full 6-month premium. Many insurance companies aren't doing monthlies anymore, guys. So all the more reason we need to be on top of our finances. And if you don't have available funds in your bank account to be able to pay 6 months or 12 months, guys, this is where we got to start building the credit. This is where we got to start building the credit and having these credit cards as emergency type situations like this, you can afford to pay a monthly premium based on your budget. But maybe you can't afford to pay all 6 months at once. That's where we have high credit scores. We utilize a 0% interest credit card. We pay that 6 months premium in full, and then we go back and make monthly payments to pay it off as we would have if nothing changed. This is why it's so important to always be prepared, guys. Okay, so shopped around, gave me the quotes. I'm like, okay, let's go for this one. This one has, the same amount of coverage, actually a little bit better coverage, but it was the same price as what I was already paying, but with a different company. So I'm like, okay, let's pull the trigger. So long story short, they only gave me a 1-pay option or a 3-pay option. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to stick it on a 0% interest credit card with cash back and earn some points. So let's go ahead and stick it on this credit card and pay it off in full. And I'll just make my monthly payments like I just told you guys to do. Guys, I'm nobody special. I handle finances how I coach my mentees how to handle finances. Like, y'all may think like I got all the money in the world. Nah, we still using some credit cards to be able to lighten the load. But we're very strategic. I use a 0% card so that the banks don't make any more money off of me, but I do it in a way to where it's not stressful to me. See, guys, if you're not financially prepared, things like this will add weight. And that weight turns into stress. And then that stress turns into sleep loss, bad moods. You're not productive. You don't show up how you normally show up. Guys, it's a vicious cycle. That's why I'm like, we got to get these finances together so that you can be able to operate in excellence. Okay, so long story short, paid the premium, and now I'm just basically waiting it out until the new company takes over. Who did I decide to go with? I decided to go with Progressive. So I went from Travelers paying $2,700 every 6 months to now I actually did a 12-month premium for $5,200. Yes, guys, at the end of the day, I paid it off in full because another thing that you need to be mindful for is when you choose monthly installments, that insurance company charges you a payment processing fee every single month. And I'm like, nobody taking more money than what they have to take more money. I'm going to pay it off in full, earn my rewards, and then I will make the monthly installments to completely pay it off. But basically, because I, number one, had my notifications set. Number two, I have easy direct access to my insurance agent that literally through a text message, we were able to do all of this in a matter of hours, guys. And then lastly, because we're so diligent with looking at these numbers and comparing, I was able to secure a brand new policy for $5,200 instead of $9,997 a year. I don't know about you guys, but that is insane to me. Now, that was just my auto. Let's talk about my mortgage, my homeowner's insurance policy. Same situation. I was paying $1,100 a year. Then it jumped up. The renewal, actually the year isn't even up for like 2 months. But I'm like, let me take a look and let's see what this could look like. And sure enough, the renewal was about $1,500. And I thought to myself, okay, Alan, we got to tackle this one too. So we did. Still, we basically did a combo policy. We did auto and home together with Progressive. And with Progressive, I'm now back down to $1,100 a year. Guys, we got to get good with our finances. We got to get good with our monies. Just because a company has increased their premiums doesn't mean you got to stick with them. And as a matter of fact, I know many of you Many of you are loyal to the soil with these insurance companies, and you are paying more money. But because you're so comfortable with not taking a look, you're so comfortable with autopay doing its job, you're so comfortable with knowing you've got coverage that you don't even realize you could be spending an extra couple $100, couple thousands of dollars a year because you're comfortable, guys. Stop it. Stop it. Nothing good happens inside the comfort zone. So I encourage each and every single one of you to review your policies and see when is it due for renewal. Heck, call your insurance rep and say, hey, I need you to run me a quote. I need to make sure what I'm paying is the right price. And can you find me something cheaper? Now, this is super important. Just because you shop around for a cheaper premium payment on a policy doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the same coverage. So I encourage you, if you've got an amazing insurance agent, they should be educating you. They should let you know, okay, based on the economy, your home value has increased. Because your home is worth more, you need to have more coverage. And sometimes when we hear more coverage, we think a higher monthly payment. Not always, guys. This is where you have to rely on making sure you've got the right insurance representative representing you and understanding what do you have to insure, what its value is, what are the deductibles, what are the coverages to make sure you're properly insured. But I promise you, the new policies that I've just signed up for have more coverage, but I'm paying less money. And it's all, thank goodness, because I surround myself with the right people who have my back. And most importantly, they operate in excellence. They operate from a space of education and making sure, okay, Eva, I know you're trying to save some money, but let's look at everything as a whole. Just to be sure that, God forbid, if anything happens, a car accident, a fire in your home, or whatever it may be, that you are still properly insured and properly covered. So let's kind of recap this, guys. Why are we having such a difficult time getting insurance in California? A lot of the insurance companies are shutting their doors because it became way too expensive. They have paid out more money in claims than what they've received. Now, that is a whole political issue that I'm just like, come on, insurance companies. You make money. You make how much money? But now you're shutting your doors because you have all these claims all of a sudden. I don't buy into that, but that's not my problem. That's not my business. But anyways, yes, a lot of them are shutting their doors. They are not taking on new clients. They are canceling policies because of the economy, inflation. Heck, here in California, got a lot of wildfires that they had to pay out on claims to help restore and replenish. So at the end of the day, guys, we cannot dwell on why is this happening to us. What we need to be dwelling on is how are we organizing our finances? What are we doing to put ourselves in position so when the economy shifts, we have options. And not only do we have options, we have good options. We're not operating from a space of panic or emotion because really that's what happens. You get a notice in the mail talking about we're canceling your policy. Then what are you going to do? Oh my gosh, let me just go and pick whatever and pay whatever just to make sure I'm covered. Yeah, making financial decisions based on emotions are always going to be expensive. So I encourage you guys, review your policies, take a look at those numbers, get in touch with your insurance agent, and let's shop around and let's take a look at things. Now, in terms of other properties, investment properties, guys, for all of you who are investing in real estate and you are responsible to make sure those properties have coverage, the more properties you got, I would only hope you got the right insurance agent that is managing all of those properties so that you can be able to go back and make sure nobody is canceling your policies and making sure that when it comes time for renewal, you're not paying an arm and a leg. One of my investment properties, I got notice 2 days ago that they were like, come December, policy is due for renewal and we are no longer renewing policies. Who is this company? Berkshire and Hathaway. Berkshire and Hathaway is another company, guys. So keep an eye out on your notifications. Take a look at your mail. Heck, log in right now and take a look and see when your policies are up for renewal and start shopping around now because you don't want to wait until the last minute. But I do want to take the time to elaborate on my investors. If you are thinking about investing in real estate, you might want to do some research on those states that you are thinking about investing in real estate in and ask and research and connect with those insurance agents locally to find out what is it looking like to insure real estate in those areas because every state is different, guys. And at the end of the day, we don't want you to be super excited about to take on this investment, about to fix and flip or buy and hold, and then come to find out you can't even acquire insurance in that state. I know, guys, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking off of those that I'm surrounded by. These are the hurdles they're facing in today's day and age. So I encourage you to make sure you're researching so that you're not stuck on the back end and not being able to properly insure your personal property as well as your investment properties. So with that being said, guys, I hope I've added value to you. I encourage you to go out and review those policies, connect with your insurance representatives, make sure they are working on your side in your best interest to educate you, and most importantly, hopefully to help save you some money because it all starts with today. That being said, guys, I thank you for your time. I hope I've added value to you. I hope you like, subscribe, and share this with your friends and family. And I look forward to helping you live life on your own terms.
Take a look at what you see, what I become. It ain't hard to tell. Young legend, I'm an icon.